There is no proof for naturalistic county-option in biology. The theory of co-option, the claim that existing biological structures or parts can be repurposed or co-opted to serve new functions, is often invoked by atheists as an explanation for the evolution of irreducibly complex systems. However, despite its frequent use as a counter-argument to intelligent design, there is no empirical proof that naturalistic co-option can account for the origin of the intricate and interdependent systems we see in biology. Here, I will examine the concept of co-option, explore its shortcomings, and explain why it fails to provide a satisfactory explanation for irreducibly complex systems. I will argue that co-option is largely speculative and unsubstantiated by direct evidence, and that intelligent design offers a far more coherent and plausible explanation for the existence of complex biological systems. 1. What is county-option in evolutionary theory? Co-option refers to the alleged process by which a structure, protein, or biological system that originally served one function is repurposed or adapted to perform a new function. In the context of evolutionary biology, co-option is used to explain how complex biological systems could evolve from simpler systems, without needing to arise from scratch. The idea is that parts that were once used in one role could be co-opted by natural selection to fulfill a new function. For example, proponents of Darwinian evolution argue that components of the bacterial flagellum, an intricate molecular motor used for movement, may have originally existed as parts of other systems, such as the type 3 secretion system, and were later repurposed by natural selection to form the flagellum. In theory, this could explain how irreducibly complex systems could evolve, as existing parts are modified rather than entirely new parts being formed. However, this theory of naturalistic co-option is speculative and lacks empirical support. There is no direct proof that complex, interdependent systems in biology were created through the co-option of simpler structures. 2. The lack of evidence for county-option. The idea of co-option is often used as a hypothetical explanation in response to the challenges posed by irreducible complexity. While it offers a theoretical way to explain how complex systems could evolve, it lacks direct empirical proof. No observable instances of co-option leading to irreducible complexity. Despite decades of research, there are no documented examples of naturalistic co-option leading to the creation of irreducibly complex systems. An irreducibly complex system is one in which all parts must be present and functioning together for the system to work. The removal of any one part renders the system non-functional. This creates a significant challenge for Darwinian evolution, which posits that complex systems arise through a gradual process of small, beneficial changes. For co-option to be a valid mechanism for the evolution of irreducibly complex systems, there would need to be evidence of a step-by-step process where existing parts are repurposed in a way that leads to a new, fully functional system. However, the reality is that no such processes have been observed in nature. Instead, the examples used to support co-option are speculative and lack the necessary empirical data to demonstrate that this process can create complex, interdependent systems. The problem of coordinated change. One of the major difficulties with the co-option hypothesis is that it requires coordinated changes across multiple parts of a system. For a new function to emerge through co-option, several existing parts must be repurposed and modified in a highly coordinated way, such that they work together in a new context. This is an enormous challenge for random mutations and natural selection, as it requires multiple parts to change simultaneously in a way that produces a new, functional system. In most cases, modifying one part of a biological system without corresponding changes in other parts results in non-functionality or a loss of the original function. Therefore, the idea that parts could be randomly repurposed through co-option to form highly specialized, interdependent systems seems highly unlikely without the guidance of an intelligent cause. 3. Co-option and the bacterial flagellum. The bacterial flagellum, one of the most famous examples of irreducible complexity, is often used by proponents of co-option as a case study for how complex systems could evolve. The flagellum is a microscopic rotary motor that certain bacteria use to propel themselves through liquid environments. It is composed of a core of 20 to 30 different protein components, and all of the core proteins must work together for the motor to function. Some evolutionary biologists argue that the flagellum could have evolved through the co-option of simpler systems, such as the type 3 secretion system, TTSS, which bacteria use to inject toxins into host cells. According to this view, parts of the TTSS could have been repurposed by natural selection to form the bacterial flagellum. The problem with co-option in the flagellum. However, there are significant problems with this explanation. Lack of functionality. Even if some proteins in the TTSS are similar to those in the flagellum, this does not account for how these proteins could have been assembled into a fully functional motor. The bacterial flagellum requires a rotor, stator, driveshaft, and propeller, all working in precise coordination. Co-opting a few proteins from the TTSS would not explain how the flagellum's complex architecture came into being. Interdependent of parts. The parts of the bacterial flagellum are highly interdependent, meaning that the motor cannot function unless all its components are in place. This presents a significant challenge to co-option because it is unclear how intermediate stages of the flagellum could have provided any selective advantage to an organism. If the motor does not work until all the parts are present, there would be no advantage in co-opting individual parts from simpler systems. The lack of direct evidence for how co-option could produce something as complex and integrated as the bacterial flagellum underscores the speculative nature of this explanation. Co-option remains a hypothesis with little empirical support, particularly when it comes to explaining irreducibly complex systems. 4. Why intelligent design is a better explanation. In contrast to the speculative and unproven nature of naturalistic co-option, intelligent design offers a coherent and robust explanation for the origin of complex, interdependent systems in biology. Irreducible complexity points to the presence of purposeful arrangement, the idea that certain biological systems are composed of multiple parts, all of which are arranged with precision to achieve a specific function. Design versus county option. While co-option relies on random, unguided processes to explain the formation of complex systems, intelligent design posits that such systems were deliberately crafted by an intelligent cause. Just as a watch requires a watchmaker to assemble its gears and springs into a functional timepiece, biological systems like the bacterial flagellum and the blood clotting cascade require a designer to assemble their components into functional, integrated systems. The purposeful arrangement of parts in biological systems reflects the kind of foresight and planning that is characteristic of intelligent causation. This is far more rational than claiming that random processes could repurpose existing parts in a coordinated way to create new, complex functions. 5. Theological implications. Design points to God. From a Christian perspective, the lack of proof for naturalistic co-option in biology further strengthens the case for God as the designer of life. The Bible teaches that God created life with wisdom and intention, as seen in passages like Colossians chapter 1 verse 16, which states, "For by him all things were created. Things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible. All things have been created through him and for him." The absence of evidence for co-option suggests that life's complexity did not arise through random, unguided processes but through purposeful design. The intricacy and interdependence of biological systems reflect the intelligence and creativity of a designer, God, who created life with order, precision, and intentionality. Conclusion. No proof for naturalistic county option in biology. In conclusion, there is no empirical proof for naturalistic co-option in biology. While the theory of co-option is frequently invoked as a counter-argument to intelligent design, it remains speculative and unsubstantiated by direct evidence. Biological systems, particularly irreducibly complex systems like the bacterial flagellum, defy explanations based on co-option due to their intricate and interdependent nature. Intelligent design offers a far more plausible explanation for the origin of such systems. The purposeful arrangement of parts and the complexity of biological structures point to a designer, not random, unguided processes. As we continue to study the natural world, we find increasing evidence of intelligent design, which aligns with the Christian understanding of God as the creator of life. Life, in all its complexity, reflects the handiwork of an intelligent designer, God. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.